You have to say how much money you're making, but financially, you're happy with what you've been doing.
Well, to be quite honest, we're really, really blessed because we were able to buy a house, our second house, put it on rent as well.
Oh, wow.
A big boat, a massive motorhome, which is just parked out there. I love my V8, so I've got a classic car, V8, and I've got a motorhome, which is a V8 as well. Yeah, life is good, man. Life is really good. And the reason I chose Jim's was transparency. And the most important thing was you could grab a phone and call him, and he'll answer, and he'll talk to you, you know? And the biggest thing was affordability. I don't think any other company can beat Jim. It's not that I work for Jim, I have to say this, but no, I can guarantee you, there's no other company who can beat Jim.
So, Hitesh, thank you very much for joining us, the Jim's Mowing podcast today, which goes into Australia and New Zealand as well. So how long have you been with Jim's Mowing for, Hitesh?
It's been more than a month now, and I'm enjoying it. Love it.
Yes. So what do you love about it?
The best thing about it is I'm not stuck in an office, and I get to see like different things, meet different people, share different ideas, not only like while I'm doing my job, but like it's interesting, you know, like it's different. Working with Jim, either cleaning, mowing, or anything. You know, it's totally different apart from like if you're stuck in an office, you're just doing that 8 to 5 kind of thing, you know. But like with Gyms, you can be the boss of your own time and choose what to do when, you know, and it's amazing. It's beautiful.
And what were you doing prior, Hitesh, to the Jim's Mowing?
I was the plant and resource coordinator in a construction company. So I've moved from a corporate company and straight to mowing because I love gardening. I love outdoors, you know, so getting paid is a bonus, you know. You love something, do what you do, and getting paid is just a bonus, you know.
Now, did you do the training in Auckland as well with Steph and Tori, who actually sit behind me here? Did you do the training here with us?
Training was really awesome. Location was good. People were good. All the candidates were good, and it was top notch.
Cool. And how did you go about doing the mowing component of the training? Do you want to talk a little bit about that, about the learning that side of it?
bit about myself. I've been a mowing contractor for past 6 years now. So I sort of knew what I was getting into. And the only reason I joined Jim was very transparent compared to other companies, you know. So that was the reason.
Yeah. So was there something where you were doing as a side business on the side to your normal job, and then you just sort of thought, why not give it a crack full time?
Yeah. I own a cleaning business as well, water blasting, cleaning, and I am a ex-chef and a bar manager. So I cooked for 11 years. So I do catering as well for functions, and I think I don't like sitting. So if I can use that time making money, why not?
Amazing. Now, so how do you manage your time then? If you've got so many different things on, how are you managing your time?
I love it, mate. I mean, the thing is, you have to pin everything in your diary. You know, like you can't. I mean, I do take out time for my other activities. Like I love fishing. I've got a motorhome. We go away. I love gardening. I've got like about 198 ducks. Chickens and ducks, you know. So, but my priority is my customers, you know. So I believe if I keep my customers happy, my business grows, I'm happy, you know. So
let's talk about the services then. So what are you doing as a Jim's Mowing franchisee? And maybe do you want to talk about what type of jobs you're doing for customers? Because obviously more than just mowing. Maybe do you want to talk a little bit about that?
We do home cleans, commercial cleaning, exit cleans, general garden tidy up, landscaping. I do ready lawns as well. I lay turfs as well. Water blasting, small landscaping. Yeah, I mean, you name it, we are there, you know.
Now, what's the difference between, because there's obviously a lot of small businesses around who do similar sorts of things. So why do customers like using you and Jim's as maybe what's the difference for customers? Why should they use Jim's Mowing as opposed to someone else? What's for you the difference?
The biggest difference, and the reason I joined Jim's, was people have got like different opinions on contractors. For example, Jim's has got like their health and safety, public liability. And customers know when a contractor goes to their property, they know that we are there to complete their job. We're not there to snoop around or do anything else. Or if something did happen, like, for example, we damaged the property or something, they are covered. So it's a peace of mind for the customers. The biggest thing, I think, they choose Jim's, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, the trust and, they're supporting a small business, but they do have that trust with the person coming, which is really, really important as well. Now, you mentioned the turf side of it. What sort of turf stuff do you do?
I've laid ready lawns. Like there was a couple of jobs which I took that was in west of Auckland, and I had never done it. And it was pretty amazing when the outcome was really good. And I did a lot of research, asked around, and I just It's not difficult. You set your mind to something, you can do it. It's not difficult.
With the ready lawns, it's basically just getting the area really well prepared, and then you order it in, and then you lay it on. How does that? Maybe don't talk about the process for that.
First of all, you have to get the area ready. For example, level it up, have your sand and everything, topsoil. The biggest thing is drainage. If your drainage is not good, regardless of how good your lawn or ready lawn has been put in, it'll in time, it won't be straight, or it'll go into different directions. You know what I mean?
Let's say coming into winter as well, what sort of services do you think customers need in winter, or what would you be advising them to look at doing?
Coming winter for Auckland, especially water blasting, many customers, they get the hedges, their fruit trees trimmed, just a general tidy up outside, because the lawns, they sort of stop growing. And customers, they start focusing on their outside of the house, for example, trees, shrubs, hedges.
Gutters as well. Do you do that? Gutters?
Yeah. Gutters is the most important thing, because in fall, for example, in autumn, the leaves are just everywhere. At the moment, we're facing that issue. Some of my customers, I'm not even mowing. They don't have lawns, but neighbors' leaves are flowing on their roofs, in their gutters, in their yard. So we just go and tidy it up. So it's not just mowing.
Can you talk about people with gutters, just what happens if they don't get their gutters done? So, for example, if their gutters are blocked, what could happen potentially to the home?
For example, customers, when we go and do quotes, they say, oh, it's just gutters. But for me, it's not just the gutters, because if your gutter blocks from those leaves or any debris, there's a major concern regarding it's a big problem. For example, the water can start going in the house, mold, chip starts getting rotting, and the water gets in the ceiling. So it's a small issue creates a big problem, So it's not just gutters, yeah.
Yeah, I used to think that until I got a place, and yeah, you're right. If you don't clean the gutters, it overflows in the house, wrecks the plaster, and you get that smell inside your place, and it's just something that's a big cost for something you just need to get it done every year. Yeah,
and insurance, most of the times, the assessors will come and they'll ask how did this problem occur, and then it's very important. Sometimes we customers think that spending a couple of $100, it's better to avoid that problem, a bigger problem,
Yeah, I agree. I think people just need to get it done. I used to think that, but yeah, if you have that water inside and you have to redo the plaster and stuff, it costs a heap of money and it's just a bit of a pain. But gutters is definitely essential coming in. You mentioned the pruning of the fruit trees. So do you want to talk about that? Because it's not just as simple as just rocking up and cutting things. How do you do that? And do you want to talk about talk about the fruit tree pruning side of it?
When we talk about fruits, the more branches we have, the more fruits we have. But most of my customers, they like, it's a bit of an OCD for some people, especially for me. I like fruit trees even, to me, it should look beautiful. Even though it's a fruit tree, it should look beautiful, So all the branches have to be even, all the leaves and everything. So when spring comes, you have your beautiful, for example, cherry tree, if you don't trim it, any tree, if you don't trim it, it just sort of goes everywhere. But trimming helps a lot. It doesn't only make it look beautiful, but it just sort of gives you that space to move around as well.
And what about the hedging side of the business? Because obviously it's Jim's mowing, but you do a lot more, as you pointed out, with water blasting and all that sort of stuff as well. So what about the hedge siding? Do you get much hedge work?
A lot of hedge. We've been doing a lot of hedges because we've got a lot of hedging tools. And Auckland, especially my area, it's all lifestyle properties. And people especially farms and stuff, they don't have fences. They've got the massive as hedges, So yeah, we just get in there and just do our job and get out,
And is it yourself just in the business, or do you have a team, or how many?
I've got a team of 3. So
wow,
yeah. So we can take any sort of work, as far as we've got machine. And the biggest thing is health and safety. First of all, I always assess. If I know that it's a bit dangerous or difficult, I always advise my customers, and hence, that's why they have to pay a bit of extra money for that.
Absolutely. And I was going to say as well, with your equipment as well, what sort of equipment do you use, and what's your sort of idea behind the equipment that you use in your business?
I am a steel guy, so I love steel. I'm from Fiji, and there's 2 brands we used in Fiji. It's either one is Kawasaki, another is steel. Nothing else.
That's for everything. Is for your hedger, for what about for the mowers and stuff as well?
Yeah, I've got Brigg & Stratton. I've got a Honda, which
HR self-propelled, the self-propelled HRU one. Yeah.
And I've got a commercial ride-on, 42-inch ride-on, which is a beast. It's a Ferris, and it does a really good job.
Yeah. It's great to talk to you because you've had an independent business before as a side thing. You've already got staff already so early on. So how do you manage staff, and how did you find your staff? Because that's a big problem for a lot of franchisees and for businesses is finding their people and keeping them. So how have you managed to do that?
I've got students and for example retirees. Two of the retirees I've got, obviously they are retired, but they want to be active. They don't like sitting, So yeah, that's how I get all my staff. I mean, it's not difficult. It's just about advertising and word of mouth.
Yep. And how many jobs are you roughly doing a week at the moment? How many are you doing in your business?
At the moment, I've just quoted 3 jobs today. So 2 of them big jobs which have got approved. So it's just in a week I'd say for example 2 or 3 hedges. We do exit cleans, which takes about 1 or 2 days depending on the state of the house, how the tenants have left it. So in average about 5 big jobs apart from mowing, cleaning and the hedges and stuff, water blasting and stuff.
That's fantastic. And what would you say to someone about looking at doing a business? Maybe doing the leaving corporate, coming to do what you do. What would you sort of say? What would you recommend for them to do? What would be some advice from your experience?
Mate, to be quite honest, I was on a really good salary, like 80K salary, company transport, everything, holidays, paid to Fiji. When I wanted to start mowing and working for myself, my family, friends, even my wife, she had so many questions. Don't do it. That the first week I remember it was really difficult. And then as we went ahead, it became really easy, and I started understanding I was able to choose my time. I was able to do a lot of other things which I wasn't able to do when I was working for somebody else. 6 to 5 or 6 to 6 days a week. Now I've achieved a lot in these 6 years. I've been here in New Zealand for the past 19 years. I've achieved a lot, and I would like to say to other people who are thinking of joining or doing some similar kind of work, just do it. It's amazing. They will see the difference. Their lifestyle, their mental, their physical, everything will change. Just change, And the best thing is going to a customer's house, talking to them, and doing your job. And sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, you become a part of their family as well, because you talk about your personal, not personal stuff, but your whatever you're doing, your family, and they talk about their family, So it sort of becomes a family instead of just a customer, And it's amazing. You get to see different kind of people, share different views, ideas. You learn a lot of things, and different views. Auckland is beautiful, sceneries, It's beautiful, just do it. Yeah.
I love what you said about the people do talk people out of it. We have a lot of people who come to training and their wife or their husband or their friends and family say, "Oh, don't do it," and they're always really worried for them and stuff like that. Which I understand that, but you've just got to push through it. But I was going to say, what's their opinion now of what you're doing?
She comes with me. When we started, obviously, in a couple, there'll be sometimes buts and ahs, But when she started seeing the result, she was just amazed, and she said, "Well, I should come and join you." So, and the biggest thing is in couple, we've been married for past 18 years, So we work really good together, So it's really good, It's a bonus as well, and the results. I mean, trust me, the results are there. If people want to join, obviously there'll be heaps of questions "Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I have to get all the customers myself, leads. I don't have sick leave or leave, or, anything." But once they start doing it, the difference. This year, last year and this year, I've made 12 trips to Fiji. I've got mom and dad back home, my brothers. Dad is 72. I love my family, and I've made 12 trips ever since I've started working for myself. So I couldn't do it when I was working for somebody else, So
that's great to hear. I was going to say as well, you have to say how much money you're making, but financially, you're happy with what you've been doing.
Well, to be quite honest, we are really, really blessed because we were able to buy a house, our second house, put it on rent as well.
Oh, wow.
A big boat, a massive motorhome, which is just parked out there. I love my V8. So I've got a classic car, V8, and I've got a motorhome, which is a V8 as well. Yeah, life is good, man. Life is really good. And the reason I chose Jim's was transparency. And the most important thing was you could grab a phone and call him, and he'll answer, and he'll talk to you.
Have you called Jim? Have you?
Yeah. I've spoken to him.
What'd you ask him about?
Just business opinion and how things would go. And he was like transparent, clear, and the biggest thing, I think, it's affordability. Compared to, obviously, I sat down and did my research. And the biggest thing was affordability. And Jim, I don't think any other company can beat Jim. Like, honestly, it's not that I work for Jim. I have to say this, but no, I can guarantee you there's no other company who can beat Jim if you want to become a franchisee.
No, that's a great point. I'm sure you've done your research. I know a lot of people I interview, they do their research with multiple things, and they always come back to the fee structure, and it's a flat fee, and there's no percentage of revenue or nothing like that as well. And obviously, Jim's Mowing is the biggest in New Zealand too, so it's got a really good reputation that you can just walk in and, like someone like yourself, who've already got some business experience, just come in and you just look how you can blow up with your business so well with using the brand. It's fantastic to see. And I was going to say that you mentioned something about your first week. So how was you said it was a bit tough in your first week. Let's maybe outline that. What was the toughness about it? Was it just like the reality of not having that weekly or that fortnightly salary come in, or what was the tough thing about that first week?
I had saved up some money, because I knew what I was getting into. But the biggest thing was backup. I knew that, okay, I'm starting something new. It's not going to be I wasn't comparing apples to apples, that I'm making this much working for somebody else. I'll be making this much or more than that or less than that working for myself. But the biggest thing was backup. You are backed up by Jim, simply. You don't have to, obviously you have to go around and promote yourself, Facebook and stuff, do that other social advertisement. But you know that you're backed up, not only with leads, but with anything, for example, health and safety, insurance. If something did go wrong, there's system in place which will help all the franchisees, So I can say I sleep well, thinking that I don't have to worry about all these things, because I do my job properly, keep the customers happy. That's it. You get paid. Simple,
And what's used in good customer service? Because everyone thinks customer service is simple, but obviously it's not, because obviously there's a lot of different standards of customer service. So how do you do your customer service? So you get the lead. What's your process from start to finish?
As soon as I get the leads, for example, I've got a thing that if I'm on the machine, if I don't hear my phone, I've got a habit. Every 45 to half an hour to 45 minutes, maximum an hour, I'll be checking my phone. And if there's a lead, I'll stop everything. I'll give the customer a call, let them know, or ask them if they're home, when I can go and see them, or how can I see them for the quote. And if they're happy, I give them a time, or they can say, sorry, I'm not available today, you can come tomorrow, or if you can come now. So I always try to talk them into it that, okay, I'm doing this job now, but I can be there in certain hours, The most important thing is communicating with customers, because if you tell a customer that I'll be there in about 2 hours, or if you get a lead, let's say about 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and you call the customer, I still call the customer 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll apologize. First thing, I'll introduce myself, and second thing, I'll apologize that I'm calling this late. 100% of the times, they're happy that somebody has called them, and then I'll ask them that if I can come and see you tomorrow. So I think the biggest thing is calling them, letting them know when you're going to be there, and not arriving on time. That's the biggest no-no. So I don't give any customers any benefit of the doubt that I always show up on time. And if I'm running late, 5 or 10 minutes late, I always give them a call and let them know that, hey, this is what's happened. I'm stuck in traffic, or there's an accident on the motorway. I'll be there shortly, Yeah, just communication. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's a great point, and it sounds very simple though, but a lot of people don't do it. But it's very easy to do, but you're so right. People might change their plans for their day or whatever around you coming at a certain time, and if you don't rock up on that time, it can be quite off-putting to them. But a simple message, as you said, you do, which is a very simple thing, but it goes a long way with customers.
It does. I always think, put customers, for example, I always say, if that customer was me, sometimes there's emergencies in our life, and not everybody has got that, magic ball where everything can be seen, so you have to communicate, like you have to, like, doesn't matter if you're busy, just put down your equipment or machine. It takes only 5 minutes. If they don't answer, text them or email them, leave a message, but don't just call and just hang up, like if they don't answer, you let them know that they do care, or they do matter, that because they're our customers, and that's the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So which areas do you service in New Zealand, Hitesh? Which part of Auckland, sorry?
I'm south of Auckland, so I'm in Pemkura, but my area is Ardmore. South Auckland is the biggest region in Auckland, and it's a big area. Mostly lifestyle blocks and farming areas. A lot of development going on at the moment, like housing and stuff. But and I'm hoping for that, because more houses means more jobs, more work, not only mowing, but like all sorts of work,
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is thank you very much for your time today. We're going to take this video and we're going to chop it up and hopefully push it around your area and just get your face out there a bit more, and helps everyone as well. But you've got a fantastic attitude, so I'm really happy to hear how well you're doing. You've got a really fantastic attitude to business, and maybe in a year or two, you might be helping out our training program in New Zealand. I've got a feeling you might be able to. So you've got a really great business mind, and it's fantastic to hear how well you're doing. You've already got 3 staff, and you've got all your toys and stuff as well, your cars and stuff. It's fantastic. So thank you very much for joining us today on the Jim's Mowing podcast. We appreciate it, Hitesh.
Thank you. You have a good day. Cheers.
All right, you too, Hitesh. See you, mate. Bye. Thank you for listening to the episode of the More Than Just Mowing podcast by Jim's Mowing. If you do need help with your local gardening expert, please give us a call on 131 546 for Australia, 0800 454 654 for New Zealand, or head to jimsmowing.com.au or jimsmowing.co.nz. If you liked what you heard, please make sure to leave us a review as well, wherever you consume your podcast. We appreciate your support. And until next episode, we hope you have a great week.